Hey everybody, this is Darius Singletary here again, and this is the final project of SDS. And before I begin, I would just like to start off by saying this class has really taught me, has really evaluated myself, and how of knowing me better. In a way, this class definitely helped me grow and helped me understand a lot of the concepts that were given, and also what we learned throughout the chapters and throughout this semester. To begin, with my personal assessment, it's a few things I found out about myself and further discovered about myself. I felt it was very important in a sense, and it's something I could apply to my everyday life and apply later on, future in the life. First one was self-disclosure. I realized that I'm more of a guy that moves in silence. When I say that, I handle situations in silence. I don't like to say much. I tend to shut down, and I like to avoid the conflict. Conflict is something I just don't do. It seems to me, it's not drama or anything. I just don't like drama. But it's like conflict. Whenever a situation comes out, I tend to run away from it. And the best way I tend to handle it is with silence until I'm ready to talk. Instead of rather than facing it straight up. A lot of times I feel if I was to face it straight up, it would help way more, and it would definitely solve a lot of problems. What I also learned was with me being silenced, it just keep that fire going, and it keeps that that conflict there. Next one is awareness of self disclosure, and what I realized was using the Johar window, um, concept, the model itself, it helped me learn more about myself, and it gives me more of a vivid picture of how I know myself, how I know others, how well I don't know myself, and how well I don't know others. And that's my second one. My third one is I've also learned how to communicate and how to not just verbally, but give myself and show it in actions, as well as in my demeanor. So, I learned to communicate, and I also learned that communication don't always have to be verbal. People can see it in your demeanor, and you will know how people figure out. You may be mad or something because it's all on your face, it's in your body language. So there's more than just one way of communication, and it's in your body language, your facial expressions, just your demeanor as a whole. And then number four, listening. Listening is very important. Listening is what evolves around the world. So if you don't listen, I've learned to. What I used to do was, I'm the type of person that listen to a person, but like if they say a point, I would have to stop them right there, and I would have to make the point and address that situation right there. Because now, if they continue to go on, I will forget all my points and I don't know where to start from. So I would have to stop. But I learned to listen, and I do listen. I listen, but I learned to not cut them off if it's not necessary, and I just learned to be better about that. And then language, language is just very important. How you say things really does affect people, not just what you say, but how you say it. And language is very important, and you got to understand that language is a big part. And again, it's body language, verbal. It's all types of language. So language is a major part of communication. And then the five concepts I learned that was big was, co-culture. In the book, it's defined as a group within a compassing culture that has a perceived identity. And so, for example, things that would be age, race, sexual orientation, and religion. This is very important in a sense, and we got to understand what co-culture is and how we all have that perception based off of these things, those examples I was given. Number two would be outgroup, which is a group that individuals sees a difference from herself or himself, and so really this is the fact that you have groups, you have people, and some people feel like they're not in place and they can't be placed in that group and they feel out of place. Number three is the Johara window, and again I explained that briefly. Early the book defines as a model describe relations between self-disclosure and self-awareness, and it helps you learn more about you, yourself, and your identity. So I feel like that's a big part. And then you have stereotyping. We all know what stereotyping is, but the book helped me understand, uh, more in more depth that stereotyping goes further than what it is right now. And so it's different types of stereotyping. You don't want to offend anybody. You it's positive stereotypes. Be honest with you, it's bad. A lot of times when people hear stereotypes, they think of the negatives, and that's what it is. And then a win-win problem solving. You always want to put yourself in a win-win situation. Whether you compromise with a person or not. There's different ways to put yourself in win-win situations, but win-win situation help you and the other person get exactly what they need and everything. And then it says a lot of times we just look at all these concepts and it's very important. And so I felt like this class has really helped me understand, helped me apply all these concepts and everything to my life. And so, I could apply these to my life and I could relate to a lot of them, just by my color of skin, my education, how I carry myself, how I talk, how I speak. A lot of these people can base a lot of these examples and perceptions off of those things. And so those are my 6 examples and concepts of how, they are applied to my personal and professional life. We as, no matter the color of your skin or whatever, you just got to carry yourself in the most proper manner as possible. And so, a lot of these concepts really apply to everyone and everybody. So, there's no one is exempt from it. And, basically this is just what I learned. And as I continue to push forward in life, I will continue to use these concepts and use these types of skills in life. So, that's my time, and thank you very much.